water parks. More specifically, Hershey Park. Not really a water park, but whatever. There's a water park in it, so it counts. If you've never been to Hershey Park, let me just tell you it's actually really fun. Unless it's the middle of July and 95 degrees, and you wore jeans because the weather said it was going to be 60 degrees with wind chills, but no. So yeah, it was pretty unbearable. Not to mention my mom, brother, and sister were all constantly judging me for my outfit choices. Especially when we went to the water park region of the park. Since I was wearing jeans, I couldn't really go swimming in the giant pool, so I just kind of sat off to the side trying to get any amount of tan I could. So it didn't look like it was the first time I had left my house that summer. I have a lot of self-confidence, guys. What are you talking about? Anyway, I was sitting off at the side of the pool, just minding my own business, when this kid and his dad just got into the pool right in front of me. I don't want to say the kid's real name in case if he ever watches this video, even though I'm going to show his face later, and he sues me for defamation of character, I guess. It's the only thing I could really think of. So we'll call him Macaulay. I guess this was Macaulay's first time swimming, or at least one of the first times, because he had those giant orange floaties on, and it looked like his dad was trying to teach him how to stay above the water. I got really invested in this story, because imagine Macaulay looking back on this day 10 years from now, and remembering the first time he went swimming without floaties, and I would be there to witness it. Do people not remember the first time they went swimming without floaties? Is that not a thing people do? Whatever, the story doesn't go well anyway. If it went well, I wouldn't be including it in this video. Basically, it all started to go downhill when Macaulay's dad got out of the pool to go to the bathroom. And while he was gone, Macaulay took off one of his floaties. I started to get concerned. I looked around to make sure that not only he was being watched by the lifeguard, but that he was also in the shallow end of the pool. Neither of those were true. The lifeguard was not paying attention and Macaulay was in the deeper end of the pool. By the time I realized this, Macaulay was already taking off his second floaty, and there really wasn't much I could do, so I just kinda sat there, watched, and hoped for the best. He took off his second floaty, and he stayed above the water. And then he just sank down! Macaulay! He started drowning right in front of my eyes! I didn't know what to do! I just sat there thinking, oh my god, I'm witnessing a child drown right in front of my eyes. His dad is gonna come back and see his poor son Macaulay dead in the pool. He's gonna blame himself for this. He will always think back to this as the time he left his son, who couldn't swim, alone in the pool. Which, thinking about it, is actually really stupid. I don't know why he did it in the first place. Police are gonna be involved. I'm gonna be interviewed because I'm a witness. And if you're thinking,
did you really let a child die so you could have a story for a YouTube video?
Well, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I have crippling anxiety. Yeah, that even prevents me from saving drowning children, because I don't want the entirety of the water park to be watching me. Luckily, Macaulay's dad was already on his way back out, and he jumped in the pool and got Macaulay out of the water. He's alive, there's no need to worry anymore. I don't know if you were ever worried about some random kid in a story in a YouTube video, but if you were, there's no need to worry anymore. And then, after the whole near-death fiasco, Macaulay's dad decided it was time to leave. And as they were walking out, I wanted to take a video on Snapchat so I could send it to my friends and tell them about the entire experience I just went through. Here's the video I took.
Thanks.
This is the hat I was wearing. I really like it too. It's actually my favorite that I own, but that's besides the point. I didn't think Macaulay would notice my phone, but I mean, I guess he kinda didn't. He didn't really say anything about it, he just complimented my hat. Anyway, that's the story of how I almost witnessed a boy drown in front of my very eyes. I guess if Macaulay wasn't going to remember the first time he successfully swam without floaties, maybe he'll remember the time he almost drowned in a public pool, and nobody really did anything for about 7 seconds, including myself. Is posting this video going to get me in, like, legal trouble? I didn't help a kid when he was drowning, so I'm gonna be arrested. Honestly, it's worth it because I get to make a YouTube video about it. Another water park story I have isn't really at all a water park story. Rather, it's a story about a pool in a hotel. Pretty much the same thing. This one takes place at a Best Western, which I don't think is a local business, so I don't believe anyone will be able to find out where I live because of that. Anyway, this happened in 2009. I remember that because my cousin was turning 10, and I was upset that we wouldn't be the same age anymore. Again, did no one else do that? Maybe I actually have some form of, like, autism. Dead serious. These videos truly bring out the worst in me. Anyway, I don't know if you've ever gone swimming at a Best Western, but you actually have to go into a locker room. Why did I feel like that was necessary to point out? I feel like that's how it works with every public pool. I wrote this script at 3 in the morning, so there's a lot of typos and unnecessary information. Anyway, on this day, there just so happened to be a group of 5 college-age guys in the locker room just standing around, not really changing. And when you're a shy, insecure 9-year-old, getting changed in front of anyone, let alone a group of 20-year-old guys, feels kind of wrong. You know, now that I say this out loud, it was probably a lot more awkward for them than for me. Anyway, me and my cousin, the only people below the age of 20 in that locker room, decided to go into the sauna to change. Luckily, while we were changing, the college-age guys left to go to the pool. I know this all seems kind of pointless to tell you, but I promise it is essential to the story. Me and my cousin got changed, we left the locker room, and we went up to meet with my mom and sister so we could go to the pool. We got to the pool, and we saw the college-age guys just standing around, and none of them were in swimsuits. They were all still in long-sleeve shirts and jeans. My thought process as a 9-year-old was, oh, they must have been changing back into their normal clothes earlier, and now they're just back at the pool because they might have forgotten something.
What?
They just jumped in while fully clothed. The four of us were just standing there kind of lost for words until my cousin finally asked,
Can we just go swimming at my pool instead?
yeah, my cousin has a pool, and for some reason he went with my family to the Best Western to go swimming rather than his own backyard. Why? I have no idea. We all simultaneously agreed not to go swimming, and instead decided to go back home and never really discuss this ever again. I hope they remember this, or else it's gonna be really weird if they ever watch this video. Okay, one last story. This took place when I went to San Diego in 2011. I don't remember the name of the water park, but it doesn't really matter anyway. In this water park, there's a certain ride where you can go down this giant slide, and it stops about 15 feet above the pool. Pretty simple concept, right? Well, to me and pretty much everyone, it was. But to this one kid, let's call him Festin. What are these names? Festin looked to be around 9 years old, who you could tell had left his house maybe 8 times that entire summer. Maybe his whole life, I'm not sure. Festin was wearing one of those full-body swimsuits, and he had one of those stupid bowl cuts. And he had these thin goggles that only those type of people wear, you know what I mean? I'm giving you way more detail than you need to know, because I want you to understand this is a real person that I met in a San Diego water park in August of 2011. Because here's the thing, he talked as if he had come straight out of the 1990s. Either he didn't know what year it was, or he had gone on a rocket power binge watch session and couldn't help but talk like that.
We've been invaded by shoobies! By shoobies!
He complained about everything. He had a question about everything.
If I don't go fast enough, will I still make it into the pool? Am I allowed to wear goggles? Is there a lifeguard on duty?
Yes to all of those, Festin. If he had bothered to look around, he would see that 1, people going slow down the slide were still making it into the pool perfectly fine. 2, people going down the slide were encouraged to wear goggles. And 3, the lifeguard was sitting in a giant chair for everyone to clearly see so that they knew he existed. Also, Festin and the lifeguard would get to know each other pretty well soon, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Also, if Festin asked the question, do my parents regret having me? Odds are the answer would still be yes. The entire time we were standing in line, Festin did not want to stop talking. He had to tell me, my sister, and my 2 cousins everything. He told us his name, where he was from, how old he was, what his parents did for a living. Festin knew nothing about keeping things personal. I'm pretty sure if we hadn't gotten to the front of the line, he would have gone as far as to tell us his social security number. The 4 of us went down the slide and everything was fine. Here's a picture of me going down the slide that I found. I'm pretty sure this is the first time showing anything resembling my face in a video. And it was 6 years ago. At least I hope I look different. I mean, that ain't exactly a good picture of me. But for some reason I made it my Facebook profile picture for about 3 months. When you go down the slide and land in the water, you just swim to the other side of the pool and just climb out. Sounds simple, right? Not to Festin. He went down the slide and, I don't know, panicked? When he went off the slide, he did a half flip and landed right on his stomach. Remember, the fall was 15 feet and he did a belly flop. When he hit the water, it made such a loud smack sound that I'm pretty sure the entire park heard it. After that, Festin didn't really get out of the water. He just kind of floated around with his face above the water, so he wasn't drowning. I think he was in shock, or maybe he knocked the wind out of himself, but he wasn't really in a hurry to leave the pool. And then when he finally started to move again, he started to move very slowly. The lifeguard gave a thumbs up to the worker at the top of the slide. I think the lifeguard gave the thumbs up signal to tell the worker that Festin was fine, but the worker took it as a signal to send down the next kid. Before anyone could react, what looked to be a 6-year-old girl came flying down the slide, soared through the air like an eagle, and landed feet first right on Festen's back. The girl was completely fine. She got out of the water as soon as she could. Festen, on the other hand, went underwater and was not coming back up. The lifeguard jumped in to save him and got him out of the water and had to perform mouth-to-mouth CPR. I told you they would get to know each other pretty well. Luckily, Festen came to after a few seconds and was able to walk away without the need of paramedics. That was an experience. Another video done. Here's another picture I found while looking for one of me going down the slide. It's of me, my sister, and my two cousins at the water park. I don't know if they want their faces shown in the video. I'm just going to assume they don't. But look at how happy I was. Can't you just tell I was so happy to be outside at a water park and just so ecstatic to be alive? And yes, I was wearing a shirt in a water park. I'm one of those people. These videos take a very long time to make. I would love to make more of them, but I do not have that kind of time. If you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching. I don't know how you managed to sit through a 10-minute video of me talking about my experiences at water parks. 2 of them were about kids almost drowning in front of my eyes, so there's not a lot of originality. I'll see you all in the next video. I don't know when it'll be. It could be 2 days, it could be 2 months, it could be 2 years. I have no idea anymore.